Hello, scholars. So today I'll be teaching you how to set up an ideal timetable. So if you followed the last session that we had on how to build a good CGPA, you will see that having a good timetable is one of the key things I pointed out in that video. Now, how do you set an ideal timetable? First, you list out all your courses. You list them all out. And the next thing you do is you separate these courses into your strengths and your weaknesses. Separate them into your strengths and your weaknesses. Find out which course will I tend to be weak at, and which course will I have more strength in. So personally, I have more strength when it comes to do with quantitative courses like calculation courses, and I have less strength when it comes to courses that has to do with that are very, very theoretical in nature. So what I do is allocate more time to the courses that I am weak at and allocate less time to the courses that I have considerable strength in. Now, the next thing I would want you to do is you should set up a suitable study time, a time that is very favorable for you. And not just set up a time, set up a study space. For instance, I like reading in my room. The moment somebody asks me to like come out, oh, let's go for night class and all those things to let's go outside my space to read and all, I find it very, very distracting. And I tend not to assimilate as much as I do when I'm studying in my room, in my space. So I think I've gotten acclimatized to that space and I tend to assimilate more there. So, and I want you to stick to this your study time and your study space like your life depends on it. Stick to it like your life depends on it. There is nothing as important as being consistent. There's nothing as important as that. Now, the next thing I would want you to do is ensure you read the courses you are weak at very favorable hours. For instance, I would not like to read a theory course at 9 p.m. If I were to read at 9 p.m., I wouldn't read a theory course at 9 p.m. because I'll just get very sleepy and I'll get very tired of it. But I'll prefer reading a theory course in the early hours of the morning because I tend to like, oh, I'm something I don't like actually, but reading is at that early hours of the morning, my brain is still fresh and I'm still very, very active and or mentally active. So, I think that is the best time I can assimilate theory courses. So that's the best time I read them. Now let's talk about Emeka. So Emeka is a student and he's trying to he's trying to structure his timetable. Now here's how Emeka structures his timetable. Emeka tends to be very good at quantitative courses than in theory courses. Here's a list of the courses Emeka is offering in this semester. He's offering business math, quantitative techniques, leadership skills, financial accounting, statistics, Nigerian business environment, business strategy, and fundamentals of psychology. Now, Emeka separates the courses into strengths and weaknesses. You see, on one side he has his strength, and the other side he has his weaknesses. So Emeka has in his strength, he has business math, statistics, financial accounting, quantitative techniques, and on the weakness aspect of it, he had the theory courses. Now, let us move into the timetable proper of Emeka. Now, look at what Emeka has done in his timetable. You would see that he has two study times, which is from 3 to 5 a.m. in the morning and from 9 to 11 p.m. in the evening, at night, if you like to say it. Now, he reads for 7 days a week. So if Emeka reads for 3 hours in the morning and 3 hours in the night, it means that Emeka reads for a total of 6 hours daily. For 6 hours daily. And I think 6 hours daily is enough for one to for one, 6 hours will be enough for you to cover all you need to cover. At least in a semester, if you consistently read 6 hours in a day, I think it's more than enough. It's enough, I guess. It's enough. So on Monday, he reads leadership skills, which is a theory course. Now, if you can see, he does not read a theory course during 9 or 11 p.m. Okay, I think it does. That's on Saturday. Well, on Saturday, he has lesser activity, so he has more rest time and all. So you can see from the timetable how he has structured it. He has structured it based on his strength and his weakness. And if you should look deep, you will see that he has allocated more time to the theory courses than to the calculation courses. Now, for instance, now we only have 5 times when he reads calculation courses in a week, and we have more than 7 times where he reads these theory courses. As you can see, at least he reads these theory courses twice in a week. per course, twice in a week. But for the calculation course, he just reads it once in a week. So you see how he has allocated his timetable. This is the most ideal way for you to structure your timetable. First, list out all your courses. Secondly, separate them into your strengths and your weaknesses. Thirdly, try as much as possible to allocate more time to the courses that you are weak at and less time to the courses that you have strength in. And lastly, ensure you stick to your study time and your study space and read the courses that you are weak at very favorable hours. I promise you, if you do this for a semester, you will see changes. You will see excellent results. Be very intentional. Be very, very intentional about attaining academic excellence. I'm seriously rooting for you. I can't wait to hear all the good things at the end of this semester. Thank you very, very much for watching. See you next time.